Hey, Sal, I thought today we would talk about making our health and our fitness a priority. And I want to talk about this LIFT approach that we have with our ladies. And LIFT stands for Life Inspired Fitness Transformation. So it's all about how we think about our health and how we think about our fitness. And there are three different components to it. And that's what we want to explore with everybody today. And I think sometimes as we're aging, it can feel like a bit of an uphill battle. We can take one step forward and two steps back, and life can get in the road and we can put ourselves on the back burner. And that all comes down to how we think about it, because there's always different ways of fitting in a little workout, or eating a healthier meal, or getting better sleep, or handling our stress. So there's lots of different ways we can do it, and it doesn't have to take up a lot of time. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I want to talk about four different parts. They are reflect, envisage, act, and transform. So the three different stages that we're going to really delve into a little bit today is reflect. And reflect is about our past. Because one of the things that we would have done as children is that we played a lot, right? We were free range kids. So we were out there, we'd go to friends' places, we'd walk to friends' places, we'd play, we'd get told that we just had to be home before dark. So there were always things going on. And so when we can reflect on those things that were important to us in the past, and we look at it and we can take it forward and think about, am I embarrassed? For example, if swings were a thing for you when you were younger, would you be embarrassed to go and get on a swing now at the park? You're a no. I'm a definite no. But some of us would. And so what we want to think about is putting aside what we think other people are going to think about us, and what's going to bring us some level of joy and some level of energy into our life. Because one of the wonderful things is like going up to Queen's Park and jumping on that flying fox. I just think that's the best thing, right?
Yeah.
And you just feel like you're a kid again. The
Mm-hmm.
wind's in your hair and you got a smile on your face and you're just having a great time. And I think if we can reignite that passion that we had as children and think about that past and bring it into what we do on a daily basis, it can just make such a difference to our mindset.
Yeah. Yeah. Talking about the swings, Landy got a trampoline for his birthday, and everyone came over last Friday night to put it together. So the only child there was Landon at 2 years of old. All the adults got on and were
Of course.
laughing and jumping and carrying on. Landy got on and cried his eyes out.
Because it's new for him.
It's new, yeah. Whereas for all the adults, it was memories coming back.
Absolutely it was.
Yeah.
Absolutely it was. Yeah. And I think also with this reflection process, this first part of it, it's understanding also where we are with our health and our fitness as well too. So, are we sleeping well? Are we constantly under stress? Are we moving throughout the day? Do we exercise? Are we eating well? And not just now, but what have we been doing over the years?
Mm.
Because, like, for me personally, this health and fitness thing is not something that I've been doing my whole entire life. I really
Yeah.
only came to it in my 40s.
Yeah.
So it was a whole other ball game for me. And, just looking at how I used to eat to what I eat now is just worlds apart. But that took And what brought me to that, and I will talk about it. What brought me to that was this going through menopause. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important to understand that there is life beyond menopause as well too.
Mm-hmm.
But menopause just changed everything for me. And I'm going, what's going on here? This is so different. And whilst I was thinking about it, was like I started doing all that research around it. And it was like, okay, here's all the things that I was doing, and they don't work. They just don't work. So I just have to take a new approach to this. So I think menopause, we can often, go through mood swings, we can have sleep disturbances, hot sweats, all sorts of things going on. And you could probably speak to this a little bit more because you're smack bang in it at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Not
do you,
eating,
oh,
eating
not,
like a crazy person.
so you're doing both.
Not now. I've been very good over the past 3 months.
Yeah.
I've been very much more disciplined, so I'm very focused on making sure my macros are right, and the
Yeah.
priority being my protein.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah, so I've lost 7 kilos.
Great.
So yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
so but it has been that mindfulness and that reflection and that deliberateness.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And what about body fat? How's that going?
Yeah, my body fat's down. I think it's down 2%, 2 or 3%. So it's
It's
coming down,
lovely.
which is
Yeah.
good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
My water
absolutely.
intake's increased.
Yeah.
My sleep is so much better.
And I think that only takes, one thing. You just change
Mm,
one thing. And that one thing, then when you start to get that consistent approach to it, you then find that it has that snowball effect for you. You
yeah,
start to do
and
the other
that
things as
one thing.
well.
The one thing for me has been protein.
Yeah.
So making sure I'm getting my grams of protein for the
Yep.
day and hitting those targets. So that's just been the one thing that I've focused on. Um, as I said, it's been 3 months, so I'm heading into my next goal is Christmas.
Yeah.
So it's now, my focus is now on making sure I get all my workouts done for the
Yes.
week. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I
But
think,
still, but because I've got that protein down, that's still happening. It's not, okay, well, I've done the protein. I'm now just going to focus on the workouts.
yeah, and it's one of the things that we do, that I know that we do with our PT clients. It's like, stop thinking about everything too much, and
Yeah.
just focus on that protein. And particularly from a morning perspective, when you've done your strength workout, then you want to fuel it so that your muscles recover, and you give them the best chance you possibly can to
Yeah.
actually, build that stronger muscle for yourself,
Yeah.
and then evening, because that's when your body's going into repair mode. So, you you want protein throughout the day, but definitely those 2 points, breakfast and
Yeah.
dinner, are really, really important. Yeah.
Definitely.
Let's talk about the envision stage. So this is about looking to the future. So it's like, what is my health like now? What is my fitness like now? Okay. And what are the things that I'm noticing I can do? What are the things I'm noticing that I can't do? What do I want to be able to do in the future when it comes to, being reliant on how healthy I am or how fit I am?
Yeah.
And, so maybe you envisage yourself, hiking mountains with grandchildren.
Yeah.
One of the things for me is, my dad's ashes are at the top of a mountain.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, I've got to get my mother up there. so,
Yep.
so that she's with him. So it's like, okay, I got to keep hiking that mountain there so that I'm staying strong enough to get her up there, because she's gone, well, you might as well put me up there too. So, look, it could be, that you want to be holidaying. So you want to be able to pick up your suitcases, you want to be able to put it in an overhead locker, all of those types of things. So it's like, this is your North Star, it's your shining light. It's like, what is it that is going to keep me moving forward? So that's the first part of it, creating some type of health vision for yourself. And I think then aligning this health vision that you have, that health and fitness vision, with your passions. So if you think back to, we were talking about what things that you did as a child. So it might have been climbing or sliding or swinging, how can you, put those into daily life, or what does that equate to? For me, sliding down the slippery dip was the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
So what I now do is slide down a mountain on a set of skis.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I've done is aligned the fact that I want to still be skiing in my 80s, but I've also aligned it with, things from the past that light me up from the inside. And there's nothing better than standing on the top of a mountain, the wind in your hair, and you're just taken off, and it's just fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say the third point of this too, Sal, is to get rid of that old mindset, I'm too old, because it is never too late. There is so much research around people who start strength training later in life and the improvements that they see. So the best time to start is when you're younger, but there's no better time than starting right now if you haven't started.
Yeah. And there's a wonderful video on Instagram of a lady. She was 71 and she hired a PT personal trainer in 2019. And this personal trainer has done a little video of each year. So the lady is now 76. She's still with her PT trainer.
Nice.
And wow. Wow. She came to her PT as she was overweight and probably what would be called obese.
Yeah.
And man, the muscles on this woman now and the weights that she's lifting,
Yeah.
because she was determined to do it.
Nice.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why having that direction, that sense of purpose, is so important. And I know that we're here and now, that we want to focus on the here and now and just have a great time, but we're all aging, and we do need to think about what that future holds for us as well too.
Yeah. And we were talking before, and who said that you can't have goals as you age?
Oh, you definitely should have goals as you age.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you should. I think the next part, Sal, is to build some strong foundations to make sure you have quality sleep. Getting to bed at a reasonable time. And one of the things that I know for me personally, when I went through menopause, was insomnia just got the better of me. I was like, wake up, wake up, wake up. But every time I woke up, I got up and went to the toilet, and I didn't really need to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
And so once I got through, that change, I just went, this has just become a routine. It's just become a habit for me now. And what I have to do is, when I wake up like this, I've got to stay in bed, and I've got to not get up and go to the toilet, because I don't need to go to the toilet.
Yeah, it's just habit.
Yeah, it was just habit, and just making sure that your sleep environment is conducive to sleep. It's cool, it's dark, all those things.
I had a very big weekend a few weeks ago, and I said to the girls, Landy went down for sleep. And because I was babysitting, and I said to George, I said, I'm just going to go and have a sleep. So this was Sunday. It was about 11:30 in the morning. I thought, I'll have a nap while he's having it. And I put my meditation music on.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up at 4:15 that afternoon.
You did a
But
Paul. He does that all the time.
I know. But for me, it's that meditation music because it blocks everything else out, and it's relaxing my mind, and I'm getting, even though it's, middle of the day on a Sunday, I got I got nearly 4.5, 5 hours of solid sleep.
Sal, I'm glad you mentioned that, because it is one of the things that, for me, when I was going through menopause, nana naps were definitely a thing for me. I could hardly keep my eyes open in the afternoon. I would need to have a sleep. Yet now, like post-menopause, it's like, Paul will say, oh, let's go have a lay down. Oh, no, don't be ridiculous. That's just such a waste of time.
Yeah.
I got things to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like play and swing and do all sorts of things with these
Slippery
kids.
slide.
Slippery slides and everything like that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think the other foundation.
So the reason I mentioned that, like the meditation music, was that you were talking about setting up your room for sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And you can have those delta waves, deep sleep delta waves, those sort of things, and they really do help with sleep.
Yeah, they do. And they can also help with point number 2, which is stress management. Making sure that you're not feeling constantly stressed, because if you're constantly stressed, your hormones are in chaos, and you're going to be holding extra weight around the belly area, and it's just not a good thing. So, and that affects your nervous system, your brain, your body, everything. So we want to be able to have a level of stress. A good stress is to exercise, but we also want to make sure that we're not under that constant stress. And you might do that through meditation. You might do it through deep breathing. You might do it through, walking in nature. There's lots of different ways. It might be coloring in. Who knows? It's entirely up to you, how you manage your stress. I think the next things, Sal, are exercise and then movement. Find some joy in moving around. I now actually embrace doing the housework.
Yeah.
Which is odd. And so as I'm vacuuming, I'll be doing some little tiny jig, or I might be singing to myself or something like that. So, I'm making it some type of joyful moment for me rather than a chore, because when I think about it and I put it in the chore bucket, it's like, nah, this is too hard and I don't want to do it, and I avoid it.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I think exercise, I mean, that's a no-brainer. We've got to exercise, and we really do need to strength train, and we need to make it, when we need to have some form of high intensity work in our life as well too, because we want to keep that heart strong. We want to keep our muscles strong as well too. And the biggest key there is consistency. And of course, then last point with that is just to be able to eat healthy. So you want to pay attention. And I mean, this month, Sal, we've got our food and mood journal that we're giving away as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's getting women to actually listen to their body a lot more and go, okay, when I eat this, I bloat, or when I eat this, I feel tired, or I get gas, or whatever it happens to be. Or when I eat this, I feel like I got heaps of energy. So when you can identify that, that's when you know that you've got some healthy eating going on as well too. Yeah.
The other thing too is after dinner snacking.
Oh yeah.
I've spoken to you about this before. 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, I go up for my shower, brush my teeth, walk downstairs, go to the fridge, get a chocolate.
Yeah.
Why?
I know.
So that the food and mood journal is really good, because it can, you can identify why you're doing those sort of behaviors as well.
That's right. And the next thing is to understand what your life happens plan is. And we've talked about this in length before, which is, what are the non-negotiables for you and how can you bring them down to the smallest possible format so that when life happens, you still do it. So, and I think that, when we have those hectic days, when we're feeling under stress and everything, sometimes the last thing that we want to do is to maybe exercise or eat healthy, but they are the things that are going to help us feel better. And so it's important for us to, continue with that 1 minute of strength work or kettlebell swings or whatever it is that you add into your life happens plan. I honestly think that, one of the things that is often missed is this celebrating small wins as well too. So, did you choose some fruit and nuts over cookies as an example, or chocolate? You celebrate it. If you went and had a walk instead of watching an extra episode on Netflix as an example, well, you celebrate it. You go, geez, that wasn't a commitment to myself, that I actually am prioritizing my health and fitness, and I should be super proud of it as well too. And if we move into pillar number 4 now, that is the transform. So this is all part of this lift process. So this is where we want to learn. So we want to embrace being that person who has continually staying informed about the latest research and what's going on for women and women's health issues, particularly post-menopause. You might want to go to workshops or, read a blog post on a particular website or, talk to some health professional that you know. So knowledge is power. And especially when it comes to our health, it helps keep us informed. And remember that when you're looking for knowledge, when you're trying to find information, you want it, particularly with research, you want it around women's health, so not just men. So I think that's really, really important as well too. Welcome back, Sel.
Thank you. My apologies, everybody. My phone decided to overheat.
Oh, that's okay. I just kept on going.
Carried on like a true trooper.
Yeah, so I've just talked about celebrating wins and I've just moved on to the transform process. So, and I was just talking about the life part of it, so this continual learning about women's health and fitness and, tapping into reputable sources and making sure that the research is around women's health rather than, bro health.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. And there's some great people out there that are covering that at
Oh,
the moment.
look, tremendous. Dr. Stacey Sims, Dr. Gabrielle Lyon, there are so many that are worthwhile listening to. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So the L for lift is learn. Okay, we're going to go into I for inspire. So this is about finding your inner motivation, not your external motivation. And I often think about the thing that was important to me when I first started this in my 40s was to wear a bikini in my 60s. Well,
yeah,
I'm still wearing a bikini.
Still doing it. Yeah.
Still doing it, and I don't really care. But, it's, even though it's an external motivation, it's an internal thing for me because it makes me feel good. Because if I had my way, I wouldn't wear any swimming togs at all.
Yeah.
So I think clothes can be a little overrated. But, but that's just me. That's just me. Yeah, you got any tips around finding your motivation, Sal?
Um, I think you've got to find what makes you happy is going to find your motivation and your inspiration.
Yeah,
I'm on Instagram, so there are people on there that I follow. I love
yeah,
following them. I'm on TikTok. There are people that are just they literally put a smile on my face. And
yeah.
I love hearing their stories and those sort of things. And it's not necessarily around health and fitness.
No,
Um, you
no.
know, what they're doing in their life, how their lives are going, those sort of things. So I think if it puts a smile on your face.
Yeah, look, I know for me with my Instagram account, I started a while back where I just I put up a picture, and it could have just been good morning, but
Yeah,
it's my life. And you just never know who is looking at that going, oh, that's a beautiful sunset. That put a smile on my face. Or look at her cat
yeah,
just stole her chair this morning.
yeah,
So crazy things, but sometimes it is of me working out as well too. So
yeah, yeah,
um yeah, so it's just, good morning, welcome to the day. Let's put a smile on someone's face. Yeah.
yeah. And it's not just looking, sometimes it's not just about, and we often tell our ladies this in the studio, um, it's not always about you looking for inspiration. You could be inspiring someone else.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think the other thing about motivation is sometimes we we focus so much on the word, but really it's just about taking some form of action.
yeah.
Yeah.
Getting up.
And yeah, getting up. And then when you take that action, you find that inner little boil that you can have in your belly that keeps you
Little,
going.
yeah, little
Little fire.
fire.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
just keeps you going. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the next part of it is this F, which is focus. So
Hmm.
prioritizing your health and your fitness in the decisions that you make for yourself each day. So, when you go to do something, you ask yourself the question, how is this going to affect my health and fitness? And it was a wonderful thing that I was talking to Leonore, one of our PT clients, and she had some great one-liners for me. And I've done some reels on it because they were really, really good, and one of them was that she says when she goes to eat something, she goes, oh, I'm going to have to track this, because she's a tracker. She got into the
Yeah,
habit of tracking. And so now she just automatically does it. And she goes, oh, no, because because she's that person who is going
think,
to be putting it into her app, and she goes, no, I'm
yeah,
not going to do that. Yeah. So there were
yeah,
some great little one-liners from it as well too. So, yeah, asking yourself those little tiny questions that can have you asking yourself, do I need this, or should I not have this as well too?
yeah.
And how is this going to impact my well-being?
I think focus makes you a little bit more mindful too.
Yeah, absolutely. And then our T stands for transform. So embracing this evolving health and fitness journey that you're on,
Mm.
and accepting that every single day is going to be different. So we need to embrace change. And, I think about, our 7 and 8-year-old grandkids that are now living with us, and they're here in our full-time care now. And, how they have just been removed from, their parents. They've come here and they've just embraced it.
Mm.
Even though at first they were sad about it, and they still miss their parents and everything like that, they still just every single day, it's like there's something that's happening that's a change for them.
Mm.
And I think we're more flexible with change when we're younger than when we're getting older.
Yeah. And they're asking a lot of questions. And I think that's so important. As we get older, we think if we ask questions, we look stupid.
Yeah.
Mm.
but we don't, you know. Yeah, we were talking about something. What was it that I mentioned to you yesterday? There was something that
They
I
were
said, they
talking
asked me
they
a
were
question.
talking to yeah, they were talking to you about why they take their multivitamins and all that sort of stuff.
Immune,
Yeah.
yeah, their immune
Yeah,
boosters and
immune
everything like that.
system
Why are we
thing.
taking this? Because one of them said, well, our immune system should be good because
Yeah.
we're only little. And I've gone, well, you've spent your whole life in a situation where your nervous system has been responding. So you're going to be in that flight mode, you know, or that what is that saying?
Fight or flight.
Fight or flight. Yes, you're going to
Right,
be in
yeah.
that fight mode. So he's more in that fight mode, and she's more in the the freeze mode. You know, she goes and hides and everything like that. And I said, so, you know, there are things that we do to change our immune system, and that would have had an impact on it. So we're trying to boost it, but and we're also doing it through all of these lifestyle changes that we're making as well too. Yeah, okay. Like this morning, 2 kilometers around the track. You know, they get
Yeah.
up, you know, with me and do that. So that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
Sal, is there anything you want to finish off with today? So we're just briefly talking about, you know, connecting with the past, finding some joys, using it as some momentum, some motivation for yourself, then thinking about your future and how that can drag you forward, and then just bringing it back into daily life and what you
No.
can do each day to help yourself. Is there anything you want to add?
I think it's so important to not worry about your age and oh, I'm too old for this, because we're never too old for it.
Yeah.
You know, we're never too old to be moving or finding joy or finding inspiration or finding motivation or, you know, focusing on our food. We are never too old for that.
No, that's exactly right. Exactly right. And I think that if there's been something here today that anyone's taken away from it and they're ready to start, it's like start now, like commit
Yeah,
to one small step. Make it as simple as you possibly can. I'm not saying make it easy, but make it simple. It could be, I'm going to go to bed 15 minutes earlier, or I'm going to eat an extra vegetable today, or I'm going to focus on my protein, or I'm going to start, you know, I'm going to put a set of weights here on my desk or next to my lounge chair if I'm sitting
yeah,
in the lounge, and I'm going to start using some weights. So, you know, there's lots of different things that you can think about, but start today, commit to it, and lay that foundation for yourself so that you are able to live a life doing what you love and enjoy in life, as well as all those mundane things like
yeah.
groceries and all that type of stuff. All right, so thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me as always.
You're very welcome. Thanks for joining us today, ladies. If there's a topic you want us to talk about, please let us know. We'd be happy to throw our thoughts around whatever it is that you'd like to know about. Bye, everybody. Bye, Sal.
Bye, Peter. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.